everyone, this is Rachel. Welcome to another digital art journaling tutorial. Today we are going to go over making your Photoshop brushes into dynamic brushes and letting Photoshop do the heavy lifting for you. The supplies that I'm going to use today come from Vicki Robinson's Make Your Mark Bubble Wrap Brushes, as well as Make Your Mark Texture and Stamp Brushes. I'm also going to be using 2 pattern papers from the It's About Time kit, as well as this beautiful word art, which was a newsletter subscriber freebie, and this one comes from Art for the Soul collab kit. I'm starting with a plain piece of pattern paper from the kit, and I want to create my first layer. And I'm just going to name that layer brush number 2211 because that's the bubble wrap brush that I'm going to start off with. So next I'm going to go to my brush panel and I'm going to choose the bubble wrap brush. Next, this is where I'm going to tell Photoshop to create the bubble wrap brush as a dynamic brush. Basically, I'm going to make sure that Photoshop changes the shape dynamics and the scattering of the brush each time I stamp down. So the first thing that I want to do is click on Shape Dynamics and change the size jitter to 50%. I'm also going to change the angle jitter to 50%. I'm going to choose Scatter, select both axes, and 100%. And each time I stamp down, the bubble wrap stamp will change in angle and size and scatter. Next, I want to change the blend mode to overlay because I just want the texture of the bubble wrap stamp. I don't want to actually leave it black. Next, I'm going to create a new layer, and this time I'm going to choose brush number 1553. And this is a texture brush stamp. So I'm going to go back to my brush panel, choose the shape dynamics, and repeat the process again. Size jitter 50%, angle jitter 50%, scattering, we're going to select both axes, and 100%. And again, I'm going to begin to stamp down, and with each time that I stamp, the size of the brush file will change as well as the angle. Then I want to change my blend mode to overlay, and it's just going to leave the texture of that brush file. And I'm just going to repeat that process again with a new layer. And this time I'm going to choose brush number 1588. Go over to my brush panel. I'm going to select the actual brush file. Make sure to change the presets, Shape Dynamics, change the size again. I'm going to change the angle again, and I'm going to move over to Scattering, select the checkbox, and choose and change it to 100%. And you can see that each time I stamp down, the brush file actually changes without me having to go in manually and change the angle or change the size. And here I'm actually going to duplicate that layer because I just wanted it to be a little bit more darker. So I'm going to select both layers now, and I'm going to merge both layers together. And then I can change the blend mode to overlay. And you can see what beautiful texture is now on the paper. So I'm going to do that one final time, create a new layer. This time I'm going to choose brush number 2392. And I'm going to go into my brush panel and find that brush, which is another texture stamp brush. and change the presets. Shape Dynamics, Size Jitter, 50%, Angle Jitter, 50%. Choose Scattering, want to check both axes, and then 100%. And I'm just repeating the same thing. I'm just continuing to stamp down my brush file, and it's very random. I'm just trying to get the texture. And now I'm going to change the blend mode to overlay. And there, just beautiful texture without having to think about it. Next, I'm just going to pull in the second pattern paper from the kit. And I'm actually going to change the blend mode to this one to linear burn, just to get a little bit of darker effect and to really pull the textures from the layers beneath. And now I'm opening up the word art, and it's just a gorgeous set of beautiful clustered word art. I'm using my marquee tool, and I'm just going to move that word art into my canvas. Next, I'm just going to resize it and pull it into position. And I'm going to select the background layer and just make sure that it's in the center. And so I'm just choosing my align tools to align it horizontal centers and vertical centers. Now I'm just going to use a small shadow just to provide some emphasis on that word art. And so there you have it, a closer look at my finished page. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and got inspired. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that other artists may find these informational videos. See you next time. Bye.